Greetings, Earthlings! My name is Zero Jake and welcome back to Space Engineers. So, since quite a lot has happened since episode 1 that hasn't been on camera, my bad, I'm instead this episode going to give you a base tour and basically the rundown of what is going on in this series. So, first of all, as you can see, this is what is referred to as Null Corp headquarters, because Null Corp is the fictional company that I made that manages the trade network, which will be in the game when I get round to it. This is basically the main base for everyone. It is neutral ground, everyone can come and go as they please and use its facilities as they want. It is also going to be my main base as well. This does mean that we're going to have lots of people being able to snoop around here without me yelling at them, so there may be people here when I'm working on other things. Okay, good. Now, what we have in terms of facilities, we first of all have this lovely landing pad here. We've got a central landing pad for things to land on. We've got numerous other landing pads that currently have ships. We've got a grinding welding ship that also has a drill attached to it. One of my designs, as you can see, it looks ugly as hell. It is temporary. I'm planning on replacing it with a different ship. Over here we have our designated mining ship, which Tom built because they lost my one that I built earlier. It's got a lot of thrusters. I'm going to replace it with something better later, but it does exactly the same job. Like, I need to upgrade the thrusters, the gyros, the capacity, all that stuff, so that we can make it better. And then finally we have this, which is our only combat vessel, a quick reaction force fighter craft, equipped with, what is it, 8 Gatling guns. It is kind of maneuverable, but not the most maneuverable thing that is possible. I am planning to make several more. This is one of Tom's designs, and I'm going to make several designs of my own so that I can claim that I built them instead of someone else having been built them. Now, you can see that the colour scheme here is a bit off. With the main background of the entire station is black. Not like deep black, but a kind of asphalt black, ash black, I don't know, one of those. This is basically so that it's not blindingly white and you can clearly see it apart from the asteroid itself, which we have situated ourselves on. It's kind of a big asteroid. It's very nice as well. We've got some defences. We've got a turret here, and we've got a turret there. They're both set to automatically pull ammo from the conveyor network, but they currently aren't connected to the conveyor network, something that I'm going to work on when I do a revamp of our weapon systems, because currently we have no mods that add new weapons. Because, well, that was a decision as me as the admin, because, well, I wanted to set up the server first, and then we add other mods, so weapons, tractor beams, no, we've got shields. Yes, we do have shields. Okay, yeah. There's basically going to be a wave 2 of mods added to the mod list, which is going to include better guns. And once we get that, I'll be changing up the defensive positions of this base. Okay. Now, last episode you would have seen that we created this Hangar Bay. As you can see, it is currently constructing a different ship. This is a relay satellite for between this base and the drop site down there, which I alluded to last episode. The aesthetics of this area are going to change, but basically what I wanted first is functionality so I could build. Currently we don't have the power, because I don't have the power. We don't have the power in order to build ships at a quick enough pace, so it's currently running on hardly anything. This is where this comes in. This is the arc reactor that I'm currently building. As you can see, it costs quite a lot of resources. And as you can see, if I go into production, yes. It costs quite a lot of resources. So I'm going to have to wait for that to be built, which is basically going to take up processor time. Now up here we've got one of Adam's ships. This is a bigger mining ship that's meant to mine quite a lot and then come back. The smaller one is meant for shorter range trips and more precision, which is why I used it to help excavate the asteroid so that we can place the hangar. Yeah, this is one of Adam's designs, as I've said. It's quite compact at the back. It's using small grid and it's using the largest drill node to man. It's still several thousand steel plates under, but that's fine. That's completely fine. Over here we've got some solar panels which are currently supplementing our large reactor in terms of power. Helps us decrease the amount of power that we use, but after we get the arc reactor online, they're not going to be that useful anymore, so I'm going to scrap them. Maybe replace them with oxygen generators. No, farms. Yes. Yeah. So that's the exterior of the base for the most part. If we go inside the airlock, you'll find that this place is pressurized. Ooh, how lovely. We've got the medical room down there, which I moved recently so that we have more room. We've got the Tim stuff here, and we've got blue screen of death as the aesthetics for this. As you can see the amount of components and the amount of ingots. I've yet to automate the production of any components because that's just going to take too much time. Well, no, not too much time. We don't have the facilities to do so yet, because I really don't want the four assemblers that we have constantly building components. I need to sort that out at some point. That's on the to-do list. We've got a to-do list here. You can read that at your leisure. That was from Talon, I believe. And then we've got a bunch of kill records and military progress. Tom is on charge of that currently. When he's not down on the planet, he's in charge of the military. Speaking of which, if you follow me... yes, we are depressurizing here, aren't we? No, we're not. Interesting. Right, as you can see, you can go down here, and this is a massive tunnel. I'm going to use jetpacks so that I can decrease the travel time, but it is quite large. This is a tunnel to the other end of the asteroid. Military access only. As you can see, I'm just going to temporarily add the helmet on, and as you can see, this is the end of the tunnel, and if we go out here, other end of the asteroid. This is under production. This will be the military side of the asteroid base. It's basically there so that we can house military ships and basically have a lot of economy down here that's pure combat. So probably the shield generator will probably move down here. And basically the plan is we have this base sprawl over the entire asteroid. Maybe not completely covering it, but have different sections elsewhere. Now this does mean that if it comes under attack, we will have some slight problems with the enemy being able to disconnect our conveyor network at several key areas if they have researched the place, and they can easily research the place because, oh, I don't know, they have near free access to it anyway. Yeah. So if we go into factions, you can see Null Corp is the only faction, and you can see the list of people that we have. With me, with Adam, with Tom, with Talon, Tom, Blab, and George. Currently the only people who are on the server. These are all people who I have set to, they have access anyway. They are currently under the title of freeloader, because that's how things run. Yes. Some are willing to pay, but I'm not laying them yet, because I need to actually do some work first before I can get this thing open to a limited amount of subscribers. And I'll explain all about that when the time comes to do so, because it's not definite. But anyway, lastly, we have a laser antenna here that goes over to the drop site, and that will go into us entering the admin mode so that I can now use spectator camera to show you down onto the alien planet. Now, Tom and Talon took a ship down here. They may have been streaming, they may have not, I can't remember. But they have successfully created a base in which the sabroids are continuously attacking, which is why you can see bullet holes everywhere. It's got a lot more defenses, it's got a lovely green hue, which is definitely not killing my eyes right now, in contrast to the blackness of space. It's currently in production, I would say. It's because they don't have access to the resources that we have at the base, at the HQ. So we've been sending drop pods down. Some remote controlled, which weren't really accurate. I mean, I got one within a kilometer. But others have been sent down with someone riding it, you know, like you would ride a bomb down to the surface in that movie that I can't remember. But yeah, it's quite bare bones, but it does its job. You've of course got single refinery. You've got a single shield generator, which helps against the sabroids, by the way. laser antenna here, only awaiting the relay satellite so that we can connect the two bases to each other, because they're 100 kilometers and the laser antennas only go 60. Right, if we go inside here, I'm using spectator because I really don't want to go down here. You've got, you know, to-do list. We've got separate to-do list bases. I'll put the lights on so that you can see and so it doesn't go completely dark. It shouldn't anyway, but this is really dark anyway. They've also got Tim's set up here. Very nice. If we go through the door, airlock, air vent, airlock, airlock, to the two different landing pads. And if we continue down here, you can see their lovely oxygen chamber. That's quite a lot of, no, assembler, oxygen. Yes, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, basically their med room and some additional production facilities. Not as fast as ours, but it's good enough for now. Noting that mining on a planet is painful as sin, so you really don't want to be doing that. Also, solar powered, for the most part. I haven't actually... Hang on, was there a reactor in this room? No. Yeah, I think they're mostly solar powered. And so is their oxygen supply, really. Because you know how painful it is to mine on a planet? Try finding ice anywhere near here. Hence the oxygen. They need the ice for hydrogen, so that's why it's staying around there. So yeah. Now, if I was down here, we might be under attack by Asteroids, but that should be fine, I guess. And I think that's all that we have on the server as of now. Noting that the server went online about a week ago, so, well, a week, 2 weeks ago. I don't know the exact number, I don't keep track of these things. You see the green hue for a bit. But, yeah. That's the server as it currently is, and now on to describing what is going to happen with the Space Engineers series, because obviously I missed quite a bit. So I've decided that we're going to have 2 series at the same time. My god, yes, I know. So the first series is going to be the one that's currently running, which is Null Corp. You see it in the title, obviously. Episode name, Null Corp Space Engineers, episode number. That's the format that I'm going for here, seeing if it improves traffic. If it doesn't, then I'll switch it over to something else. A bit different from last series, but that's fine. Okay. Basically, the Null Corp series is going to be me adding onto the base and doing administrative things. Basically, pseudo creative mode, because I have all of the I'd have all the infrastructure, and therefore I'd be able to build as I desire. Now, this may cause me destroying the server in terms of sim speed. Our current sim speed is 1, and will stay that way for quite a while. Thank you. But yeah. Admin things. It might usually require me having to use commands because we have a lovely tool here. Midspace's admin helper, I believe, unless it's someone else's. Yeah, I think it's Midspace's. A lot of admin commands that I can use. I haven't worked out how to use all of them, but you know, that's what I'm here for. That's basically Null Corp series. Do Null Corp things. Right. Series number 2 is, I haven't got a proper name for it, but the current one is Remote Operations. Remote Ops for short, so that you can read the Space Engineers in the title of the video. This is a premise along the lines of, I am not allowed to use my oxygen reserves in my suit. Right? Now that may seem weird and also confusing, but the way that I get around with being able to, the way that I'd be able to actually do stuff would be I remote control ships. So I stay in a sort of command ship. I stay in there unless I dock it to somewhere else and it pressurizes. And I remote control ships to go mine resources, or I use them to fight and take over ships, or I use them to build, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be interesting, and in the Null Corp series in the future, once the shipyard is up and running, we'll be building the capital ship, the command ship really, not really a capital ship, the command ship which we will be using to do that. It's going to need a pressurized hangar bay so that I can do hands-on work. On the drones, it needs a drone bay where I can store them. It needs a few production facilities, like maybe 1-2 refineries, maybe just one, and then a few assemblers that are able to build things at a reasonable pace. I'll install Tim on there so that it has an auto sorting system, maybe 2-3 large cargoes. It's kind of that, right? It's not nothing, but it won't be everything, which is what this base will be, by the way. This series that's remote ops will also be on the server. However, I'll be like, I don't know, I'll try and jump to infinity again so that people won't be able to find it. If people do find it, congratulations on you. If they do manage to mess with it in any way, there will be repercussions in the form of me taking the stuff from Null Corp and blowing your planet up. Because apparently this is now the Death Star for some reason. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But yes, those are 2 series. Null Corp and Remote Operations. The way that I'll do the scheduling is that Monday, Wednesday and Friday is Space Engineers, as you have seen for the past few months. Except the parts where I didn't do episodes then because I was quite busy at that time, moving into a new place. And what will happen is every one of those days will alternate between episodes. So, for example, this is a 2-week timetable, by the way. You go Monday 1, Friday 1, and Wednesday 2 would be Null Corp, and then Tuesday 2, Monday 2, and Friday 2 would be Remote Operations. That's effectively what I'm going for. And then also the 3rd series which I'm doing, which is currently Nexus the Jupiter Incident, will be replaced with something else that we'll do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, mostly campaign-based stuff, so things that can end without me going on forever and ever, like a Sandbox. The next game will probably be one of the Homeworld games, unless I can think of a different one to play. I don't have StarCraft Remastered yet. I want to do StarCraft Remastered, but then again I think I tear myself apart with the controls. Yeah. Sorry, that's me rambling. Anyway, if you have questions as to the server itself, not questions like, can I join the server, because that's going to be answered later. And by later I mean undetermined amount of time, but it will happen, trust me. Some of you will be able to access the server. The reason why I'm not saying everyone will get access to the server is there's a maximum of 12 people able to be on the server, and if it's completely full, I can't exactly record, can I? But yeah, if you have questions or ideas on what I could do for either series, please put them in the comments below. If you like this video, oh my god, I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm doing this. If you like this video, click like. If you didn't, then you can leave it be, or dislike if you prefer. Please subscribe so that you can check out the videos later, and we shall see you in the next episode. Until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.